you ever played a brawler and raged so hard because the brawler was extremely terrible and you really just couldn't take it anymore? Well, inside of today's video, I'll be discussing the 5 most absolute worst brawlers inside of Brawl Stars. Let's hope we get some of your rage issues fixed. Alright, so let's start off with the 5th worst brawler, and that brawler is going to be Janna. Janna has kind of been left in the dust lately. If you play her against long-range brawlers, she can't really deal enough damage to be able to kill them, just like with tanks as well. Even regarding her super, aside from the only benefit, which is being able to escape sticky situations, her super is pretty easy to dodge, doesn't deal enough damage, and brawlers are able to predict where you land. Janna's health isn't really too good at the moment as well, hence why she can get easily countered even with her second gadget. She doesn't really travel as far, and it is easy to predict where she'll jump back to. With Piper and Nani also being meta right now in Brawl Stars, it is almost impossible to survive any of them due to the amount of damage they both do. With all these recent changes added into Brawl Stars with the damage buffs, Janna is down bad right now, and this is why she is the 5th worst brawler. Okay, so now let's kick it off with number 4, and that is going to be Edgar. Edgar is a moderate brawler and could be good if he isn't matched up with brawlers that have stun, knockback, or pull abilities. In this meta, a lot of brawlers can easily counter him, such as Stu, being able to chain supers off of him and easily just make brawlers, or like Charlie, since she can cocoon him and then gadget and attack him as soon as he escapes. Edgar isn't very versatile and he's not well suited for many of the game modes in Brawl Stars. I'd definitely say he's only suited in Showdown. He can be effective in Showdown as I just said before, but he's not good in 3v3 game modes where he often struggles to contribute to his team's success. Edgar's primary attack is relatively weak, so he relies heavily on his super to be effective in battle. However, his super is also slow to charge and it can be easily countered by enemies who know how to play against him. This is why I believe Edgar is probably the 4th worst brawler and could maybe use a buff. Okay, so moving into the 3rd worst brawler, which is going to be Hank. Hank mostly suffers as a brawler due to his main attack, as his main attack slowly gets bigger when you charge it like a regular balloon, and then pops, doing the maximum damage that Hank can do when the balloon is fully big. However, the downside of this main attack is that it requires a significant charge time before it can be unleashed, leaving him vulnerable during this period. This makes it challenging to engage enemies effectively, as opponents can easily anticipate and dodge his attack. Moreover, the slow charge rate hinders Hank's ability to react quickly to sudden changes in the battlefield. Hank's role is primarily confined to being a tank, and his kit lacks the versatility to adapt to different gameplay situations. His slow movement speed and limited range make him unsuitable for flanking or chasing down enemies. Additionally, his lack of crowd control abilities restricts his support capabilities. Additionally, Hank's reliance on close-range combat makes him vulnerable to counters from long-range brawlers and tanks with superior crowd control. In conclusion, this is why Hank is definitely going to have to be put as the 3rd worst brawler. Alrighty, so now moving into the 2nd worst brawler, and that is going to have to be Doug. Doug is widely considered as one of the most weakest brawlers in Brawl Stars due to several inherent weaknesses that hinder his effectiveness in various gameplay scenarios. Doug's main attack, Hot Dog Launcher, deals meager damage, especially at its maximum range. The damage decreases significantly with distance, making it difficult to consistently land significant hits on enemies. This low damage output makes it challenging for Doug to secure kills or contribute meaningful damage in teamfights. Doug's main attack range is extremely limited, just like Jackie's, comparable to that of melee brawlers like Edgar or Mortis. This short range makes it difficult for Doug to engage enemies effectively, especially in open maps or against ranged brawlers. His inability to control the battlefield from a distance leaves him vulnerable to attacks and makes it hard to support his teammates. Furthermore, his super can also be weak at times, as even though he or his allies recover with maximum HP, it is still predictable as opponents can just camp there and wait for you to recover to get a free kill on you. His star power self-service is also pretty weak, as it only does around 500 healing, which doesn't have much effectiveness on brawlers, and this is why Doug is considered as the 2nd worst brawler. Now that I've talked about all these bad brawlers and how weak they are inside of the meta, we will finally move into the absolute worst brawler inside of Brawl Stars, and yes, you guessed it, it is Frank. Frank has heavily fallen out of favor in the current meta. Let's delve into why he struggles. So, Frank's movement speed is one of the slowest in the game, making him an easy target for enemies to chase down and attack. His lack of mobility makes it difficult for him to dodge attacks, escape from dangerous situations, or chase down fleeing enemies. This vulnerability makes him a prime target for ranged brawlers and assassins who can easily whittle down his health without risking much in return. Frank's attack pattern is highly predictable, making it easy for enemies to anticipate and dodge his attacks. His slow attack animation and the wind-up sound of his hammer give enemies ample time to react and avoid the damage. This predictability makes it difficult for Frank to land consistent hits, especially against skilled opponents who can easily read his movements. Frank can get easily countered by brawlers such as Mortis because Mortis can easily dodge his attacks just by simply dashing. He can also get countered by long-range brawlers as they can deal damage to him from far distances. This is the sole reason why Frank is terrible and is the worst brawler in this current meta. Alrighty, so now that is going to be the end of today's video. Please be sure to let me know if you agree with my tier list. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and comment down below what brawlers you might have said too as well, just so I could consider it. Also, I'm going to be doing 2 giveaways, one at 1500 YouTube watch hours and another one at 1600 YouTube watch hours. So help me get there and be sure to watch some of my videos. Anyways, see you next video.